Snoozing with Brad.
So, yesterday, I got, I found out about KobeBryant. It's so sad. Everybody's so sad about this. I am too. I mean, a hero to so many people. Devastating. And you know what? And it just, he doesn't, nobody deserves to die at this age. Nobody. Okay, but then when it's somebody who's like part of your life or part of many people's lives for so long, such a famous man, gave us so much joy watching him play basketball. My son, Zachary, who's a huge basketball fan, he texted me. He's like, "You would have," and I really called him up and I said, "Don't lie about people dying." I thought he was joking around. And because I didn't even see any. I mean, he found out like 30 seconds when the news hit. And unfortunately, he was in a helicopter with 9 people going to his daughter's basketball game or basketball practice with his 13-year-old daughter Gianna on a team at Mamba Sports Academy near the Thousands Oaks area of Los Angeles. And apparently, what happened was that the helicopter, he had a very experienced pilot apparently. Yeah,
he used it like a car. That was his way of transportation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Kobe took helicopters all the time.
All the time.
And
every day.
He couldn't handle the traffic.
Right.
And I guess you know what? You have that money. God bless you. Go do it.
He made it to practice and made sure that he got his full practice, and he wanted to always be there on time to pick up the kids.
Correct.
So that was his way of doing it.
And he apparently the helicopter pilot was a very well trained pilot. We don't know what happened, but this is what the news reports are saying.
I didn't see what they. What happened.
What the news reports are saying is that there was a lot of traffic going into the airport where the helicopter was supposed to land, and the helicopter was put on a circle pattern, waiting for the airplanes to land because the airplanes have priority over helicopters. And after 15 minutes, the pilot from the helicopter asked the control tower if he is able to go land using visual contact instead of using his instruments, although he was rated to both use instruments and visual contact. And the control tower said to him, yes, if you're using visual contact instead of instruments, that way apparently the pilot could be looking around, making sure he's not in any pathway of a airplane, because they were waiting 15 minutes to land. And apparently it was a very foggy day out, and instead of using his instruments, he was using his eyes in the fog. And from all news accounts is that the helicopter crashed into a mountain. So from what I can deduce, and I'm not the National Transportation Safety Board, but I'm good at deducing things. I believe that it was foggy out. They wanted to land. They didn't want to wait for planes anymore. And the pilot says, I'm going to do it visually. And it was very foggy out, and he just didn't see the mountain.
That's insane, though.
That's what I think happened, but I don't know.
Right.
But that's what it appears.
But if that's the case, it's never that serious, to play with your life like that. If you have to wait, then wait, That to me makes no sense. If that's the case, that's
helicopters
horrible.
Helicopters scare me. I take helicopters
and you take
a lot
it a lot.
I take helicopters a lot too.
I've never taken one.
They scare me. They scare me now. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan spoke about Kobe's death. He said, I'm in shock over the tragic news of Kobe and Gianna's passing. Words can't describe the pain I'm feeling. I loved Kobe. He was like a little brother to me. We used to talk often, and I will miss those conversations very much. Barack Obama tweeted, Kobe was a legend on the court and just getting started in what would have been just as meaningful a second act. To lose Gianna is even more heartbreaking to us as parents. Michelle and I send love and prayers to Vanessa and the entire Bryant family on an unthinkable day. Shaquille O'Neal posted a tribute to Kobe saying, there's no words to express the pain I'm going through now with this tragic and sad moment of losing my friend, my brother, my partner, and winning championships, my dude, and my homie. And finally, Donald Trump tweeted, reports are that basketball great KobeBryant and 3 others have been killed in a helicopter crash in California. That is terrible news. It was 9 people altogether. It was 2 other families traveling with their daughter, plus the coach, plus the pilot.
Sheesh.
Yeah, he's considered, for those who don't follow basketball, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. He made 18 All-Star teams during his 20-year career. He was a first-round draft choice. He won 5 NBA championships, 2 NBA Finals MVPs, and he was the NBA League MVP in 2008. He also represented the United States in a number of Olympic appearances, for which he helped secure a gold medal for the United States on 2 separate occasions. The Lakers famously retired both of Kobe's jerseys, numbers 8 and 24, when he retired in 2016. The only player in team history to have 2 numbers retired. He also won an Oscar for a short film, Dear Basketball, in 2018. He will be missed. He was a joy to the world.
Yeah.
And a terrible, terrible story. I mean, I don't know him personally, but he's just missed in my life anyway, just from watching.
No, I mean, that's the thing with people like this, and a lot of people are always saying, oh, you know, you can't really, you know, mourn or like get really this sad for celebrities because you don't really know them. But that's absolutely horse crap, you know. Yeah, because you know, you see them for years. You've seen this guy for 20 years. They're feel like you know them. They're
part of your life.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you something. Every day, we have 1,000 people, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever watches. I think we're over 5,000 people watch our show every day.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't met most of them, but I would believe I'm part of their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would believe they would be sad if I got killed in a helicopter crash. Okay, because I'm part of their life. I come into their living room, or their workplace, or their car, 2 hours every day.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, you know, Kobe did the same.
Absolutely.
Kobe did the same.
Yeah.
What's the problem, Jilly? You have more cards for me. Thank you very much. All right. Meanwhile, it is Chinese New Year.
Yes.
It is the year of the rat. It symbolizes more questions and answers. Corresponding with the first new moon of 2020, Chinese New Year, also known as the Lunar New Year, it occurred on Saturday. So for all of those out there who celebrate the Chinese New Year, which is about a quarter of the world, right? About a quarter of the world is Chinese. And for the other 3/4 of the people who don't, Happy Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
It's the year of the rat. And it's described as a very clever and innovative rat. They love to be very active, these Chinese rats.
I feel like my year is the year of the rat, too.
Well, this is also the year of the rat. It's every 12 years. It recycles.
Okay. So
yeah, it's not like there's one animal and then it never comes back again. So every 12 years it recycles. This is the year of the rat. They're very hard-working rats.
Ugh.
They love to collect things and they like to organize things. And it is, as I just said, the most widely celebrated holiday in the world because 250 million people celebrate the Chinese New Year.
Yeah. You know why?
What?
I celebrate it?
Why?
Because it is my anniversary.
Anniversary of what?
Being on Brad Show Live.
Is it really?
I came at Chinese New Year.
This is your anniversary?
Yeah.
Wow! I didn't know your first anniversary was. Nobody told me. We could have had a celebration,
It was super cold outside, and I was out there freezing my butt out with Jelly Bean.
Oh my! Nobody told me this was our anniversary.
Yep.
I feel like a heel.
Yeah.
I feel like a bad husband.
That's all
you know,
good.
like when the husband comes home from work,
right?
And the wife is in there, and she's mad at him, and she's throwing down the potatoes on the table, and then she's throwing down the meat on the table, and he says, "Honey, what's wrong?" And she looks at him and says, "Are you kidding me?" And he says, "Honey, what's wrong?" And she says, "Seriously? Are you kidding me?" And he says, "Yeah, honey, what's wrong?" She goes, "You missed my anniversary.
Absolutely.
Here, have your goddamn potatoes." Boom! That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, you should. It's actually really sad.
It is sad. I'm sorry. We'll celebrate tomorrow when Nesquik is here.
Okay.
All right, we'll have a big party. I promise you.
All right.
All right, so meanwhile, Vicky Lee, the author of the children's book Ruby's Chinese New Year, describes Chinese New Year as the most important and the most popular holiday for Chinese people in the Chinese culture. Lee explains that the Chinese New Year is all about being very happy, very prosperous, and that the red is also very in keeping with that. Red is a very fortuitous color. It's a lucky, lucky color.
Yeah. Okay, so it is mine. 1984.
Did you wear red for purpose because it's the Chinese New Year?
Because it's Chinese New Year, and it's the year of the rat, which was my year in 1984 as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, sad day for immigrants as well.
Oh gosh.
The Supreme Court overturned the law that put a halt on Donald Trump changing the affidavit of support requirements. In an order today, the Supreme Court allowed the Trump administration to begin enforcing new limits on immigrants who are considered likely to become overly dependent on government benefits. The court voted 5-4 The Department of Homeland Security announced in August that it would expand the definition of a public charge to be applied to people whose immigration to the United States could be denied because of a concern that they would primarily depend on the government for their income. So in the past, this was just based on an affidavit of support. You can show 125% above the poverty level, you were fine.
Yeah.
Now there's about a 15-point balancing between government benefits, do you have a job, are you of working age? So the rules that are now at the embassies abroad are now also going to be applied to adjustment of status cases here. I don't know the answer yet because the Supreme Court just came down with this decision about 90 minutes ago.
Wow.
So I don't know if it applies to new applications, existing applications, if we have to bring additional documentation to adjustment interviews starting tomorrow, starting next week. I don't know the answers to any of this. All we know is the Supreme Court struck down the injunction preventing Trump from instituting the new affidavit of support rules. How will the Department of Homeland Security respond to this? Will they say, okay, starting tomorrow, this is all applications are going for an interview, or all applications that are received?
Right.
Will old applications that were already filed be grandfathered in? I don't know. I don't know the answer to any of this yet.
Shouldn't they have said all that first so we did know?
I don't know. Meanwhile, there's a big fight going on in the impeachment of Donald Trump. Right now, the Republicans are saying, we haven't heard from anybody who says that they heard Trump say, don't give money to Ukraine until they give me dirt on Biden. And Trump has instructed all of the people who work for him, who may have heard him say this, not to cooperate with the impeachment. And the Republicans are hanging their hat on, well, we haven't heard anything. But the actual fact that Trump is telling people who work for him not to come testify is in fact the obstruction of justice. Now, will the Senate grow two big kahungas and get Trump to subpoena or get subpoenas on Trump's people to come in and testify? Will they allow witnesses who want to come testify, who have previously not testified, to come forward? Lev Parnas, who was Rudy Giuliani's, I guess, henchman. Basically, he was the scout who went out to the Ukraine to go find politicians to go give dirt to Giuliani. He said he heard Trump say all of this in meetings. He's now under indictment. Trump says, well, you can't believe him, he's under indictment. But that's always Trump's excuse. Every time one of Trump's people go under indictment,
they're criminals.
And just recently on Friday, Yo-Yo, John Bolton, you know, the guy with the big mustache, somehow he wrote a book. And that book was released, the transcripts of that book were released to the White House on December 30th, and then released to the public over the weekend before it became out and you can buy the book. And in that book, John Bolton says he heard Donald Trump say, do not give money to the Ukrainians. We're going to withhold funding until there is a day that we get dirt on Biden. He heard Trump say it. He said he's willing to come testify. Will the Senate call him? Because if we start hearing people, testify to these things, this is the exact thing that Trump was impeached on. Okay. Did he abuse his power? Is he obstructing justice? Is he using his presidency for his own personal gain instead of the benefits or for the people of the United States of America? It really comes down to this: power. It really comes down to power, Jonathan, because right now Donald Trump says the executive, who is Donald Trump, the executive branch of the United States of America is all powerful. They can do anything. They can break any law. They can do whatever they want. You can subpoena anybody from the executive branch. We're not going to comply. And basically, he is saying that the President of the United States is all powerful.
Right.
And nobody can do anything to him. And I really hope the Republicans look at this not from their own selfish standpoint, but simply look at it from a constitutional checks and balances. They could decide not to impeach him.
Right.
But to say, we're not going to call witnesses, we're not going to ask witnesses to come forward, and we're going to say to the executive branch that there are no witnesses allowed to come testify. If you don't want a witness to come testify, executive branch, they're basically ceding power to the president and saying you're all powerful. There has to be some checks and balances here, Yo-Yo.
Yeah, I agree.
There has. Now, supposedly, on Saturday, there was a video released, and it was reviewed and first reported by ABC News, and it appeared to capture Donald Trump saying he wanted to get rid of the then U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Maria Yovanovitch. The recording, which was provided to the PBS NewsHour by Joseph Bondi, the lawyer for Lev Parnas, who heard the original conversation, is said to be from a dinner in Washington, D.C. on April 30th, 2018, a year before Yovanovitch was actually fired. About 42 minutes into the video, Parnas appears to say, the biggest problem there, I think where we need to start is we got to get rid of the ambassador. She's still left over from the Clinton administration. Trump then appears to say, where? The ambassador to Ukraine? Parnas replies, yes. She's basically walking around telling everybody, wait, he's going to get impeached, just wait. A few seconds later, Trump appears to say, get rid of her, get her out tomorrow. I don't care, get her out tomorrow, take her out, okay? Do it. Now, the reason why they wanted the ambassador out is she was preventing Trump from doing what he wanted to do,
right?
Which was in essence, go to the Ukraine, make a deal with the president of the Ukraine, Zelensky, and say, I'll give you whatever you want. You want a meeting with the White House? Fine. You want funding for your war against Russia? Fine. Give me dirt on Biden that doesn't exist. Make it up. I don't care. That's basically, and there's a video. Let's watch.
Get rid of her.
Correct. One of the first things.
Get her out tomorrow. I don't care. Get her out tomorrow. Take her out. Okay?
Excellent.
Do it.
That's wild.
Yes. And finally,
that is wild.
Yeah. Today, Jonathan, marks the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, which was the concentration camp liberated January 27, 1945. More than 40 presidents and prime ministers, kings, princesses, grand dukes came to Jerusalem last week to attend the Fifth World Holocaust Forum entitled Remembering the Holocaust, Fighting Anti-Semitism. I will say, Jonathan, that if the Auschwitz concentration camp was not liberated, my family was already in the United States of America.
Oh, okay.
So my individual family members didn't have to worry. But had the United States lost World War II and the Nazis invaded the United States of America, there would be no Brad Show today. I would not be around.
Right.
I would not be around. Now, Israel's officials say it's an important step to have so many world leaders speak with one voice in one place, denouncing racism and denouncing anti-Semitism.
Yes.
And they're expressing the hope that more countries will accept the definition of anti-Semitism authored by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, an 11-point definition adopted so far by 19 countries around the world. Interestingly, the one president who did not come was the president of Poland, which is where Auschwitz, two presidents didn't come. Donald Trump,
of course,
he was in Davos, and the president of Poland, which is where the Auschwitz concentration camp was.
Wow.
Now, he declined the invitation because he was told he would not be able to make a speech at Yad Vashem, which is Israel's national Holocaust remembrance. Now, given that Auschwitz was located in Poland and that more Polish Jews were killed in the Holocaust than Jews from any other nation, Duda felt he should have spoken. And he said in a television speech earlier that the inability to speak in regard to this matter is against the interests of Poland. Now, event organizers say that they only plan to hear from leaders from Israel, Germany, and the four allied powers, the US, the United Kingdom, France, and Russia. Now, Duda has accused Putin of rewriting history by downplaying the full significance of the 1939 Nazi-Soviet pact, which included an agreement over the division of Poland. For his part, Putin has said anti-Semitism in Poland has been overlooked as a cause of the war. I will say this though, you know, even though there more Polish Jews were killed in the Holocaust, there were actually more Russian Jews killed in World War II, because the Russian Jews were put on the front lines to be the first ones killed.
Oh wow!
So, and there's an actual museum in Moscow now that admits all of this.
Jeez.
So there were actually as many Russian Jews killed or more, just being on the front lines, because they said those are the people we'll kill first.
Yeah.
You know,
they were basically the armor, the guards.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
They were the pawns if it was a chess match. So they were the ones who were put on the front lines first. If you were a Jew, you got put on the front line first for Russia. And so as many Jews just died from bullets as from the Holocaust.
Man.
Well, luckily we won. I'm here.
Yeah. Woo! Thank God.
What else is happening? Pentagon says 34 U.S. troops suffered brain injuries following the Iran attack. Donald Trump said 0 people were injured. There are now 34 people injured as a result of the 2 missile attacks on the Iraqi base, U.S. Iraqi base, which was the retaliation for killing the general in Iran. 34 members of our military have some sort of head injury, traumatic brain injury, as a result of the missiles falling near or close to where they were standing, sleeping, or living. Now, if you remember, Donald Trump tweeted all is well following the January 7th Iranian strike, but now, obviously, all is not so well. Now, the Veterans of Foreign Affairs, the nation's largest group, is asking Trump to apologize for minimizing the injuries to troops sustained in the attack, because Trump said at a news conference earlier this week he did not consider the injuries very serious. I can tell you, as a personal injury attorney, there is nothing more serious than a traumatic brain injury.
Exactly.
Okay, we saw firsthand from our returning vets who are immigrants who had brain injuries, the problems that they had.
Exactly.
All right, and they ended up getting deported.
Yeah.
Now, the Veterans of Foreign Affairs, I'm going to quote them. They said TBI is a serious injury and one that cannot be taken lightly. TBI is known to cause depression, memory loss, severe headaches, dizziness, and fatigue. All injuries that come with both short and long-term effects.
That's really foul that he would actually say that. It's like...
Now, I have a coronavirus update, Jonathan.
Okay.
First of all, I have a cold.
Oh.
I hope I don't have the coronavirus, because if I do, we're all...
Oh, hell no.
We are all in for it. Right now, there are 100 people sick in the United States with the coronavirus.
100?
100 people.
Wasn't it just like 2? Like
5
the
have
last
been
time
reported.
we talked about?
I read, Jill is yelling at me 5. I read over 100.
Wait, what?
Okay, yeah. But, okay, maybe it's 5. I read over 100. All right, we'll see. An outbreak of the coronavirus. 81 people have been killed in China already. 3,000 people have contracted the virus so far. 76 deaths were in central province of Hubei. The S&P stock market fell by more than 1.6% today on fears that this coronavirus is going to spread like wildfire, like this is contagion. The Chinese economy, which is experiencing its worst slowdown in nearly 3 decades, is already hurting from the impact. The stock market is recognizing all of this now.
Oh, man.
Now, Jill is telling me only 5 people, but I read 100. Bullet 9 said, Bullet 9! Woo! Officials at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said on today that 110 patients in 26 states are being evaluated for the infection, but 5 of the 110 have already been positive so far.
Okay.
So that's where I saw the number over 100.
Right.
Okay.
But I mean, that's still like, it's still going up.
Yes.
It ain't going down. That's still scary.
Right. And finally, Michelle Obama has released her 2020 workout playlist.
My forever first lady.
Yes, with music from Beyonce, Lizzo, Ed Sheeran. So she shared her 2020 workout playlist Sunday, and included the music of Beyonce, Lizzo, Ed Sheeran, and others, as I said. Obama tweeted with her list. It's about that time when New Year's resolutions get a bit harder to stick to.
To
offer a little inspiration, I want to share my go-to # workout playlist with you. These songs always seem to give me the extra boost. So Beyonce was a frequent entry on the playlist, which included the Superstar Singers 2019 cover, Before I Let Go, and the 28 hit Apes, S-H-I-T.
Okay.
Right?
Oh yeah, with
right,
her
which was
and
recorded
Jay-Z.
with her, Jay-Z.
That's a
Other
dope song.
standouts on Obama's list include Cardi B's Press, Calvin Harris's ultra catchy Slide, and Nipsey Hussle's Hustle and Motivate. You know
Nice.
that one,
I
right?
do.
You like
I
that
do.
one?
I do.
Lizzo's Soulmate was high up on the list. Which one is your favorite of all those I've said so far?
Actually, crazy thing is, all of those songs are just like really good to.
Would they be on your workout list?
Yeah, it
So
gives
she
you
has a
good
good workout
energy.
list.
Yeah, no, really good workout list.
So in Sunday's new workout playlist, the former First Lady also included a cool-down section highlighted by Meek Mill's 24/7
That's different.
and Coffee's smash hit Toast,
Love that song.
which was on the former First Lady's list as well.
Oh, I love that
Jamaican.
song. That's her.
She's Jamaican and she won a Grammy.
Have you heard that song?
I think I have.
I'm gonna have to send it to you if you
think I
haven't.
have.
I know you guys have heard it.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, y'all heard Coffee's Toast, right? She's Jamaican. Amazing song. Just like a feel-good song.
Right.
I love it.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.